Welcome everyone to the third round of the season for Tier 3. We are here at the Azerbaijan Street Circuit, and we are back for another race. Back-to-back and really close back-to-back, you could definitely say. My goodness, was that chaotic. My goodness, was that long. That last Tier 3 race, well, yeah, almost came into this one. Almost came to collide with this one. With that being said, so now this should get good because now we have Tier 2. For the third time this season, for the third round, and we are at Azerbaijan. I am PNB05, and I am joined by Polo God as well. Polo God, how are you?
I am tired considering I have to commentate the Tier 3 race, and now I have to commentate this. Let's go. I am excited, I guess. Tier 2, hopefully it doesn't have the issues as Tier 3 had. We'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, looking forward to see how these lot go, as Big Chungus has been disqualified. Does he have a penalty? Or was that just self-inflicted? I don't know.
That's just him, I'm guessing, from reversing. I'm gonna guess that. That's the only thing I can guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, just going to go over some penalties to be served. Asian was going to come into this race with a 10-second time penalty having to be served, but Callum will be reserving for him because Asian has not decided to turn. Anyway, we have other penalties being talked about. Davis had a one-shot qualifying where he could only qualify once and then had to retire the car. He had to retire from the session, did the one lap and done, and boom, that's where he stands as of right now. Anyway, Adam Fav going off, you see right there? Trying to get out of people's way. Anyways, let's talk about Tier 3 for a moment. What a race that was. What a chaotic race that was. That race was completely chaotic. Per what we were expecting. The beginning of the race, the first half was very, very calm. And then at the very, very end, it was chaotic. And you already see Aerial Tripod with damage. That's how unforgiving this racetrack can be.
Yeah, Tier 3. Although he had to choose off the track, it was a very clean race. Very before the safety car came out, there was a lot of chaos then afterwards. Well, it is Baku after a safety car restart. There isn't really a surprise, but although there was quite a lot of DNFs, a much cleaner race than what we anticipated. We thought there was going to be like a 6-car, like 8-10 cars retiring. We only had about 6, so pretty impressive showing from Tier 3, and hopefully Tier 2 follow suit today.
1/1000 separating the two teammates of GSR Silent and Aerial Patriot. Did I just try to say that? Aerial Tripod between the two. That's how much separates them on the racetrack.
Literally nothing.
Yeah. It's just inch, not even. Anyway, I just want to go over some people making their first starts as well, and returning to the grid. You have Davis returning after a little week break. He was on vacation to go to the Daytona Oval for NASCAR. He returns after that. I'm sure he didn't have a lot of fun seeing his favorite driver not make the playoffs. That was a fun race before the playoffs, so I know he wasn't too happy about that, but maybe he can kind of get that virtual spirit, I guess you could say, and maybe do better. You do see KDX running the number of Davis's favorite driver, the 48 Jimmy Johnson, so that might be a little bit why as well. Callum also reserving. You have Rapalucas returning after a little week break. Missed that race, probably because of work, I can only assume. And you also have some throwback accounts you may see here as well. GSR Joe, that is Utah Elephant, so you might need to refer to him as Utah Elephant there. I mean, you'll probably be able to at that point. You also have GSR, nope, that's not Hamilton, never mind. Bobby the Human, making his first start in ARL. He had a chance here at a podium in GSR. I think he took a podium here last season. I do not know, but he makes his first ARL start. Never turned any laps in this league, and now he does make his first start as a reserve for Red Bull. So good to see him on the track, and should be interesting. You also have Big Chungus as well, returning after a little week break. Missed last week, so should get good here. And let's talk about last season in Singapore, the last street circuit, the last proper street circuit. I still don't consider Australia a street circuit, so if you want to hate on me, if you want to criticize me for that, go ahead. But I consider Singapore the last street circuit we've done in ARL. And the reason I say that is because Singapore is more streets. The walls are more streets. Australia is completely different. It's not more like a street wall. But Australia, when we were there last time, Australia had an interesting race between Beatnik and Pluto. But we have Singapore, which Beatnik ended up winning. Squid Jr. took his first podium at, and Squid Jr. has been 2 for 2 on the street circuits with podiums. Singapore and Azerbaijan, this time he took the win in Tier 3. What a chaotic race that was. But anyways, Singapore, though, had the longest race in ARL history. Race-wise, an hour long that was, the race itself. Race weekend-wise, today, Azerbaijan Tier 3 was the longest. Polo, explain to the people why that was the longest.
Simply put, Codemasters decided, oh, we're not going to let anyone load, or we're going to put them on the wrong tires. And also decide to force us to restart twice. It was going to be a third time. It took us ages to get started on the third attempt. Finally, we got going. A safety car came out. We had 3 VSCs at the same time. So it ended up being 2 hours long. The race, the whole race, the racing quality, and all the restarts as a whole. That's how I can describe it.
I'm back.
Oh.
I see your message, Big Chungus, so I'll allow it to be said. Anyways. Qualifying should be interesting on this. If anyone has not noticed from the last race, I am having my mic changed, as you see right now. My mic is different. I'm not using my usual mic that I usually use. So, with that being said, say a good thing. I'm looking at a clip here. Yeah, Communist said he's the unluckiest driver in ARL. Literally on top of Burning Man's car. If you look at the main chat, Paulo, you might be able to see what had gone on. What in the world? Oh my god.
My phone's dead, so I can't see it.
Oh, well, rip. Anyway. Hopefully more people are tuning into the stream. I see 14 people tuning into the stream. We had 54 people turn into Tier 2 or Tier 3 earlier 2 hours ago. So, this being a bit later, that might have people not watching. That might have, you know, things be shaped up a little bit. That might have things change with the viewership. But we should be able to see some viewership tune in later throughout the stream. Bobby the Human has retired from the session. There's a Mercedes off. That is KDX letting his teammate Luke B go. They've been one of the teammates who've been closer on track this season. Probably one of the most underrated pairings that we've had in Tier 2. They originally had Beatnik and Luke B, which was a strong pairing. Beatnik obviously having the situation kind of similar to Kyle Larson, but in a different situation. Him getting himself out of the league with what had gone on, and he had the team ownership transferred over to Kagoda, who now owns his brother, Luke B's team. That could be interesting. But what I am interested to see, though, is how close this field is willing to get. That top 6 is 3.5 tenths close to one another. The pole position is split by 55 thousandths. So, with that being said, we have almost a minute remaining. How chaotic will this qualifying session get? Will we see any drivers give any toes to one another? Because the 2 McLarens are close to one another. Will we be able to see and wrap Lucas's out of the session?
I mean, it's actually, yeah. Considering the 2 alphas are separated by absolutely nothing, it's gonna be a chaotic end. But I don't think it. On my screen it says there's a minute left in quality. I'm not sure if there's more for these guys, but there's only 50 seconds left on my screen. Silent and Tripod have come out like really, really late.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Maybe they're trying to cut corners. I don't think we'll make it.
Who knows? Well, if that is the case, if there is a delay, they should be able to make it. Anyways, there is about 30 seconds, well, actually a little less than that now, left in this session. Because of that, well, we have people trying to get to the line, people trying to get in laps. We have Patriot on a lap as well, improving on his time. We'll be able to find out what will go on here for the qualifying session and how this grid will line up, because we had the restarts we had in Tier 3. Hopefully we don't have the same, but with that being said, we should be able to see some chaotic racing and the racing you guys want to see, the racing you came here to see in ARL. At F1 Boy is DNF'd out of the session. KDX Breyer is going to go up to 6th here. Outlaps for Tripod, outlaps for Silent. Will they be able to make it to the line? We'll have to find out. If they come to the line, will they be able to make it? Yes, they will. Tripod will. Silent, maybe not. Silent is going to come to the line this time. When will the checker flag be complete? I'm looking on Luke B's thing because the checker flag will be shown complete. Will Silent be able to make it to the line just barely? He should be able to start a lap here, and he does. He will be able to get a lap in. But behind that, there's the Renault. GSR Joe, he's going to go up to 14th. Not a good qualifying for him, as well as Callum gets into the top 10. Very close between the top 10, the Racing Point as well. That is someone, that is Milo. 12th for him, not so good for him. You have Adam, no, that's Sam Seed trying to improve in his lap. He's going to go up to 9th, just ahead of his teammate. Split by 1,000th, and you also have Patriot as well, improving on the time. He goes to the top.
I think Atlantis is up in his time. Matty Mumu and Atlantis are coming to the end of their laps. Is Atlantis going to improve from 3rd place?
The Ferrari,
he needs to get a good lap in.
Place goes 8th. Atlantis,
Atlantis
he's going to take his first pole of ARL. That's his best qualifying yet so far. He's going to take a pole position and where he did good in ILR. Does Matty Mumu take it?
Mumu? No,
front row for McLaren. It's a front row for McLaren unless Tripod or Silent can steal it. Silence around.
Silence balled it. And Tripod 380 thousandths up. He might be able to 3/10 whatever. 380,000.
This is gonna be close.
This could be really close.
This is gonna be close for the pole spot.
He needs to get.
Will Tripod be able to take it? We'll find out. He's gonna get a little bit of a tow from KDX. This might help him, but coming to the line, no. Tripod is only good enough for the 2nd row.
There's one thing I kind of want to mention quickly. Tripod and Silent crossed the line and started their laps, while KDX crossed the line beforehand and had the checkered flag out. That could mean they did the glitch. That could mean they did the glitch. No, because there's a glitch where if you go out with like 50 seconds to go, that you would be able to do a hot lap. I'm not sure what we should do with that, but
yeah, we'll figure that out. But
yeah.
It is a McLaren one, too. To start off this Grand Prix, Atlantis ahead of Matty Mumu. And McLaren said earlier this week, if there's a chance that our drivers, if there's a chance which one of our drivers will do better, it's gonna be Matty Mumu. But right now, you see Atlantis has put on a pole. It's a McLaren one, too. They've got their best ever starting positions. My goodness. Atlantis takes his first pole after qualifying about 15th, 10th, or lower every single race in Tier 1 last season. He's finally taken that maiden pole position. Matty Mumu stacks with the front row with him. Tripod, 3rd as well. Patriot, Silent, F1 Boy, KDX, Boss Plays, Sam, and Adam Fav. But there's guys outside the top 10 who look to improve their position, such as Milo, Luke B, Davis, Bama, and GSR Hamilton. Keep in mind, GSR Hamilton starts 19th. He started 18th or around that position in GSR Baku and gone on to win the race. Hamilton could repeat the same thing today.
He's also done it before in ARL. He's done it in Germany. We saw that iconic move on Kagoda on the final lap. I can't do an Irish accent because I'm actually American.
Right?
Yeah. Totally American, guys.
But anyway, I was going to put out there, there's guys outside the top 10 who can easily improve their position, such as Luke B. Davis here, the one-shot quality. Both Haas drivers starts outside the top 10, where McLaren lock out that front row completely, and they start 1-2, McLaren do. This is going to be interesting to this race because how will safety cars play into this race? How will lap 1 play into this race? Who's going to be eager to gain positions? Who's going to be very bold on the brakes at turn 1, and the brakes at turn 2, brakes at turn 3? How will things go? A lot of people, we got the Silent X fan club in the chat. Come on, Silent. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance, I will tell you. He has had chances to do very well, but binning it, and the race has not been something that he's avoided very much. He's had that happen a ton of times, and he's got to avoid that today as Azerbaijan if he wants to have a chance at a victory. You see outside the top 10, Utile Elephant starting on the softs, but on the hards, there is Milo Gaming, Callum, Alabama Outlaw, Rapalukis, and Big Chungus, but the rest of the drivers are on mediums. That should be interesting. And Silent is upstairs right now. I think, oh, he might have people watching at his house. I might see that. Yeah, he might. Interesting. So you definitely got the Silent fan club with that one. But anyway, I've been invited by this guy named Pogs. I don't know who it is. But anyway, here's my 2 favorites to watch in this race. I want to go with Atlantis, and I'm not being biased here. I'm being honest for this reason. You know, you go back to one of the biggest leagues on Xbox back in F1 2018, F1 2019, bigger than WR, bigger than TSRL, for the exact reason it was just popular. Let's just put it that way. 5 tiers on Xbox, 8 tiers on PS4, and a PC tier to end their last season. That league shut down a while ago, but Atlantis, the last time he was at Azerbaijan in that league, I mean, his best finish in that league is 2nd. Where did that come? Azerbaijan. And you look at his previous F1 games, the way he's performed under pressure. He's performed very well under pressure. He knows how to defend. He's going to have to defend from that pole position today, but how will his teammate and him work together to try for a first victory? I'm also going to go with GSR Hamilton for the exact reason, both of them being rivals. GSR Hamilton for the exact reason, he's crashing the formation line by Sam Seed, but the fact GSR Hamilton starts 19th on the grid is very shocking, but the thing is, he, in fact, has many, many victories from outside the top 10 on the grid. Today could be the day. He won here in 20th on the grid, I'm pretty sure. Or at least 18th, I think it was. And back in Germany on the grid. And he took a race victory from it with the last laps. Safety cars could play a big difference in this race. We've seen the last laps in Tier 3 play a big difference in the outcome of the race. Paulo, 2 favorites from you.
This is gonna be a what? Back straight anyway. I think this. I know I'm gonna be a bit biased considering it's Alfa Romeo. I think these are still have a redemption race today. They tend to be a bit of a bar
Got the whole fan club on them
recently. But I'm part of the fan club now. But yeah, I think he will redeem himself today, and I think Callum could be a contender. Staying on those hards, he's definitely gonna try and play along, probably the softs. I want to do that tomorrow if I start outside the top 10, but are we exposing my strategy? I mean, it's already gonna. I probably won't be able to do that anyway, but you know. Hopefully he can pull it off.
Yeah, should be good. 5 red lights will come upon us here pretty soon for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The 3rd race of the season, 3rd round. You have an echo, Polo. Anyways, here comes 5 red lights pretty soon. Well, hopefully we get this. Yeah, you did. Hopefully we'll get the start started soon. We're kind of paused at the start finish straight. This is not looking good so far. We might need another restart. I don't know if we will. But hey, whoever is like, oh wait, we got the 5 red lights coming upon us here in Azerbaijan this time. We won't need a restart this time. They've rev it up and we are away. It's the 2 McLarens in that front row into turn 1. But you got the Alfa Romeo trying to duck out of tripod, trying to make a move. He's around the outside of the Matty Mumu, and the 2 Ferraris make contact as well. The Ferrari making contact with the Alfa Romeo, them touching at the back. But Matty Mumu defending for the 2nd position ahead of tripod, and they're crashing at the back. There's Ferraris as well. It's a car park. It's a VSC.
Already
big damage at the back.
F1 boy
doesn't
have damage, but he fell down to last. You know, he's not last, but I think it's Lucas last. Yeah, it is.
If only. Well, this brings out a VSC. F1 boy got damaged at the back. Remember, he got he's actually avoided damage, but I think it's the other drivers who ran in the back of one another who picked up damage. Davis was one of them, or no, Hamilton was one of them. Davis was actually one of them as well. So both Haas drivers picking up damage at the back. Rapalukis as well. I think he picked up damage too. But there were people who picked up damage, and GSR Silent, after a fan club in the chat, you could say, a lot of people rooting him on, gone down a position. KDX as well gone down a position, but you had Silent, or no, you had Sam up 2 positions, and you had as well Boss Plays up 3 positions. We're back to the green flag after the VSC restart, and Atlantis has almost got Matty Mumu out of DRS range before the 3rd lap has even started, and I think that's Matty Mumu into the barrier.
I think that's damage. I think it's damage. He does, yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I've lagged out.
You've left the
I've
session.
lagged out. I need to leave my back.
Radio commentary?
Oh, this game. Oh, we're missing the action. Why? Race ended. Yeah,
Oh, no,
you're right.
okay.
Anyways, I'm gonna need to invite back Paulo.
Yes. Thank God you're on my favorites list.
Right? Well, I always should be anyway.
So you come up straight away. Yes.
I always should be
Right.
anyway.
Radio commentary. So Tripod
Yes!
is leading the race because of the glitch. Let's go! Tripod's leading. It's an Alfa Romeo 1-3 because this game is broken.
Oh my god, I love this game. This is the... I don't know if it's my internet or the game. I think it's both, honestly, if you ask me. But this is the 4th time this season. I think in GSR and ARL combined, I've lagged out of the session. And GSR has only had about a good 5 or 6 races. And you put all tiers together. And then I've only commentated almost, like, not even half of that. Maybe like a 4th of that or a 5th of that. And I've commentated every ARL race so far. The 9 that have... Well, the... yeah, 11 that have happened. But GSR Hamilton in the pits, Davis in the pits as well. The game volume is way too loud. Okay, then. Anyways, you have Atlantis leading Grand Prix. Matty Moo, who picked up damage, I think, at the Cobra Corner, we'll call it. That's what we've been calling it. At the Cobra Corner.
Well.
I think he picked up damage there. He fell down to 4th from all that. The interval gap is trying to fix itself. But Tripod with the 2nd position. Patriot as well with 3rd as things stand right now. Bama, I think he's picked up a few positions as well. Yeah, he has. He's picked up 7 of them. Big Chungus 9 and Milo Gaming. He had to score a point in the season. He's picked up 3, so that should be very good for him if he wants to try to score his first points of the season. Yeah, that's what we called it, Cobra Corner. So, it's not like it's anything new. And there's the yellow flag. That's A. Williams. That should be GSR Callum up the hill. And I think Joe's picked up damage as well. And he has a right to reset the track there. Joe's got no front wing. Utah Elephant does. And Callum as well. New with no front wing as well. So, resetting the track like that in the castle section probably won't be penalized. It was probably better to reset the track. But those two have collided before from resetting the track. And Matty Mumu, Boss Plays, and Milo. No, that's Sam Steed, who's all pitted from this lap. Some for damage, some because I want to. So, that being said, VSC has been brought out. Sam Steed going on to the mediums, so he's going to go soft mediums by the looks of things right now.
Maybe hoping for he's hoping for a safety car. Maybe trying to push as Matty it's a drive-through.
That's ruined the McLaren 1-2 right now, so that's not good for both of them to try to get the 1-2. But Atlantis is in control of this race. He's demanding the lead, and he's kept it so far with Tripod just behind. I know that interval glitch has to fix itself at some point. But anyways, you've had Utah Elephant pit. Callum is pitted as well. But there's a battle between F1 Boy and Bobby the Human. This is for the 8th position. Bobby the Human locking up before the castle section. F1 Boy trying to gain some traction, trying to get the momentum. And he can't do so, but locks up again. Yeah, Mighty Mumu with the drive-through. That's not going to help him by the end of this race as well, because he's now put himself in a worse position. He's down on 11th. He pitted, but he's put himself in a bad position right now. I think that's the 2nd drive-through he may have had, or the 2nd issue with damage, at least, that he's had this season. He's had some trouble, and of course, McLaren had said, I'm pretty sure I'd asked them, which one of your drivers do you think will do better at the Grand Prix this weekend, Atlantis or Matty Mumu? Which one of them has more of a chance at a podium? I asked them, and they said Matty Mumu, but Atlantis, oh, the yellow flag again. There's been a Ferrari. That is F1 Boy again,
F1
spun
boy
around.
Also, just want to mention, Tripod's in that nearly in that DRS range. When DRS, I think DRS, yeah, DRS has already been in. What am I thinking? He's now in that DRS range of Atlantis. So I'm gonna assume a battle is gonna start pretty darn soon.
It's been to the point where DRS is enabled. So down to that run to turn 3, down the run to turn 1, they should be able to have enough momentum where they may not have to both overtake or get an engaged overtake, but all of them are in that range of 40% to 60% in their ERS, so they should be fine with that. But while this all happens, Silent could catch up to these guys, and he could perform a decent drive with a podium today. It could be possible, but he's the lowest of these soft runners in the points, so he's going to need to catch up to these guys if he wants to have a chance. And yeah, I see the chat between Silent. Yeah. Anyways, that gap between the race leads, 6/10 separate Atlantis and Tripod. These two, I mean, Atlantis literally stated in the first race of Tier 2 that he competed in that Tripod wouldn't have won that race. It should have been him winning at Bahrain if it weren't for the contact with Harrison. Well, now he's put himself in a position to where he can possibly win a race, and Tripod's got the DRS. He almost had overtake button engaged there right there, but now he's going to move to the outside of Atlantis. Atlantis defending the inside for the lead, and Tripod goes through with the fastest lap.
Now, you need to start pulling that gap with Atlantis. Atlantis is going to go down without a fight, because Atlantis, we've seen in the past, he is quite aggressive. He's been quite cleanly aggressive, and have been instances where he has been, we don't talk about Australia last season, but anyway, Patriot could also get involved in this battle, and Silent Pog, he's 5 seconds behind, he needs to start catching up to these guys.
The two teammates down in 6th, they were battling Big Chungus and Milo. Both of them have yet to score points this season. Those two can possibly have a chance of scoring points today with how crazy and chaotic this race usually is. I mentioned about 10 times in the Tier 3 race, this is a race of attrition, and it really is. Because this race, as you see Milo locking up, this race, anything can change at any moment. And we've seen it so many times before. Tier 3 had a safety car. You saw how calm that race was at the beginning. Well, then it changed very quickly. And Atlantis just close to the wall right there. That's how close you get with these walls at Baku. And it's the front three, Tripod, Atlantis, and Patriot. Atlantis has gone 27 races in all tiers of Tier 1, Tier 2 that he's competed in without a single podium. Today, that could change. And he's challenging for a race victory as well for the first time ever in ARL. So, DRS enabled this time. Overtake button not engaged this time. 4/10, 3/10 is now that gap into turn 1, and they are not close enough for an overtake as Patriot does head for the pits this time.
Yeah, he's trying to do the undercut, and Silent also is trying to undercut on these guys. It's trying to 2-stop. It looks like it says it's on mediums. Patriot goes on the hards. What's Silent gonna do? Silent's gonna go on to mediums.
Interesting.
2-stop.
2-stop. Yeah. And Silent comes out ahead of Patriot in the pits. Patriot might have been fixing some front wing, but he's got swallowed out right there in the pit lane. He's got passed by Silent, and that's not good for him right there. Because if he wants to challenge Patriot for the top 3, he's going to need to do that. And Sam Steen and F1 Boy, they touch again between the two. And that's F1 Boy possibly breaking his front wing into the barrier. Again, between the race lead, Tripod holding that gap. He could possibly go 3 podiums to start off the season in a row. But this would be, if I'm correct, 6 podiums in a row if he keeps the streak up today. And, of course, this now, with the pit stop range, this now puts Alabama Outlaw into the podium. Big Chungus and Milo up to a few positions, and I think there's been a crash. That's Big Chungus! And Joe is out. That's in the pit lane. That's Utelephant being the first retirement in this race, not having a good start. Just has had bad luck so far ever since she switched to that account. And, yeah, first retirement in this race. Not so good for him. But now, the race lead. Tripod deciding to pit. Atlantis deciding to pit. All the time trying to be gained. Could be gained in this pit lane. Atlantis really trying to gain that time, you could tell, into that pit lane. The front 2 pit. Bama started on the hard. So did Milo. So did Big Chungus. And so did Rapalucas. So, with that being said, those two, those two who pitted, will come out around where Patriot did. How much will he undercut him? And there's been a VSC out for
3
I think that's
VSCs.
Luke B actually out of the session. Wow.
And that was crucial, because I think Milo would have gone out ahead of Atlantis if that VSC didn't come out.
Yeah,
so
and
that's
KDX
gonna help
F1
Atlantis.
Boy too. Yeah, that will. And Atlantis is really in that prime position for DRS once the restart comes. Milo's kind of costing himself out of DRS as of right now. DRS enabled. And green flag again. Callum's picked up a second penalty within the last 2 minutes. Big Chungus as well. And there goes Silent on Rapalucas down the inside at turn 6. He's going to go through into the chicane. And you got to hand it to Silent right there. That is bold going through at that chicane because it is tough to pass at that corner and go wheel to wheel.
Silent. As the chat is saying, Silent Pog. Let's say it.
Callum, another 5 seconds, or another penalty. That's 5 seconds for speeding the pit lane that time. Silent also going to charge on Big Chungus. Big Chungus does have damage, and Callum is out of the session. That's in the pit lane. So 3 retirements in the last few laps. That's all been through the pit lane except for Luke Beast. So these guys who struggled so far deciding to retire, deciding to go out of the race. Not so good retirement-wise so far in this race. We might have the most retirements pretty soon in this race, but Silent, without the help of DRS so far, is gaining on Big Chungus with the Slipstream. Now, before turn 1, Big Chungus is going to be attacked by Silent, and now Silent looking to go down the inside.
Chungus is damaged.
This time.
Yeah, you've been to it.
They're wheel to
needs
wheel,
to get through here.
and Big Chungus and him touch.
Here's a penalty.
They touch again off the corner, off turn 2 that time. And now with the help of DRS, the help of the overtake button, Big Chungus really blocking him off. And Silent down the inside again to turn 3 this time. Trying on his rival Big Chungus. And now he goes through. He's ahead that time. The battle also for the net race lead is heating up too between Atlantis and Tripod. We could possibly see a battle all the way the whole race between these two. This is for the race lead, of course. Well, when pit stop cycles do change.
It's going to be a right. This is probably the rivalry of the season so far. Atlantis and Tripod. Atlantis not having the best of luck so far, but saying, like you said earlier, that Tripod didn't deserve to win. Obviously pushed Tripod in China to get a P3 even after getting taken out on lap 1. These two probably meeting on track, and it's going to be interesting to see how they fare against each other.
Yes, sir. Silent. His next attack is Bobby the Human. He's on those medium compound tires. And he did get out ahead of Patriot, which has actually cost a Patriot because Patriot's pitted again, probably under that VSC, I'm assuming. I did miss that. But he's pitted for the mediums. So the net top 3 with everyone on the hards is Atlantis goes by Tripod now. Atlantis takes the race lead, but the problem is there's yellow flags. That's GSR Hamilton out of the session up the council section.
And that's a VSC. Oh, and Thomas go for a move onto the VSC. I see he got it done, but was that illegal? Yeah, it was illegal.
It looks like it. So with all that being said, Atlantis has got by Tripod, but out of the hard runners, the net top 3 is Boss Plays being 3rd, and of course the Atlantis Tripod duo, them two being really 1-2 out of the net race lead so far.
Human drive-through.
And Bobby the Human yet to pit on those mediums as well, locking up now. Silent's gonna have to get by him because Bobby the Human does have a drive-through, and that is crucial for Silent to get by. These guys are really trying to push with these virtual safety cars. So with that being said, Atlantis catches up to Bama. Atlantis almost got Tripod out of that DRS range, but Tripod's got himself back in it for that front straight possibly. Atlantis is going to try all he can to get by Bama and get him some DRS. So therefore, Tripod isn't the only one who has DRS, and ZZ Boss Plays getting by Rapaluca. Sam Steed as well. They're side by side into this turn. Sam Steed ahead. Oh my goodness, that was close. And now for the race lead again. Bam, yet to pit in this race. He's trying the hard to soft strategy, but here comes Atlantis with the help of DRS and Tripod as well. He's got DRS as well, so Atlantis is going to go ahead of Bama for that for the race lead so far.
That's crucial for Atlantis. He needs to pull away while Tripod's gonna be stuck behind Bama for a couple of for pretty much the entire lap. This is Atlantis' chance to pull that gap away and get a DRS.
Now the problem for Tripod is the fact he has not just Atlantis ahead of him, but he has Alabama Outlaw. He's been split in between Atlantis Tripod. There's a car split in between them, so that's a big issue for Tripod at this point. F1 boy, I just saw that right there as he pits, speeding into the pit lane. Not very crucial for him. So with that being said, doesn't look good for him. And the people who started hard, such as Big Chungus, Rapalucas, Milo, and Bama, they look to go possibly hards or softs or hards or mediums. They're going to be betting on a safety car, and Silent does go through ahead of Bobby the Human just before the castle section.
Yeah, Silent's having a much better race. I think the Silent fan club's boosting him.
Now Atlantis has got himself just barely 2 seconds ahead of Tripod with this, and McLaren, who haven't had both drivers in the podium in any tier yet, now could possibly do that with tier 2 this weekend with Atlantis. And you see Bama, I think as well, has picked up some damage at some point, and yeah, he has. That's probably the reason why he has slowed down a decent amount, and Tripod's going to look to get around him here onto this front straight. He's got the overtake button engaged. He's going to try to make a move, and he's going to go to the inside this time on Bama. He's trying to go through. Tripod ahead this time.
Where's my mic off? Anyway, Bama had to make that very easy for him. I mean, he had damage, racing complete races. But now, Atlantis has that 2-second gap now. That is crucial.
Sam Steed and Boss Plays, they sit 6th and 7th between them. If you remember back to last season, Sam Steed owned Ferrari, and that's the car Boss Plays is driving right now. But Sam Steed actually gave Boss Plays a chance at the final race of the season, and allowed him to race in his car, and Boss Plays didn't get a points finish from it, but now he's got himself in a more competitive ride, a more competitive team from what it seems with John's team, and maybe you could say more structured Ferrari than it originally would have been after the whole Akimbo situation and all that. You have, oh my god, I'm about to sneeze as well.
Yeah, I sneezed a while ago as well, yeah.
Ugh.
Corona.
Anyway. Yeah, right? But you have Boss Plays, though, running in 7th. He's actually doing good out of the guys on hards. Matty Mumu, who had that drive-through as well, has made a few stops, of course. He has only made 1 pit stop so far in this race, even though it doesn't seem like a lot. That 1 drive-through was probably not considered as a pit stop. So, where Matty Mumu sits, it could be a good position if a safety car does decide to come out. But the gap between Atlantis and Tripod, 2.7 seconds. They're trying the softs to hards. Let me check their last few laps, Atlantis and Tripod. Let's see. 143.8 it was that last lap with Atlantis. 144.7 for Tripod. That's a big fall off. And now on this lap, let's see the difference between them. Atlantis, 144.1. Tripod, 144.6. So 0.5 of a difference between those two.
Yeah, but Tripod, the lap before, was really held by Bama when Bama got damaged, so that's why Atlantis is pulling away. But even then, and when he got away from Bama, he's still losing time, so Tripod needs to pick pace or Atlantis is going to take a win.
That's true. And the gap right now is 2.6. If a safety car does come out, this could be very big, like I've mentioned before. 5'10" soft in that first sector for Tripod, so he's definitely losing a bit of time. Bama, Milo, and as well, Bobby Human and Rapalucas all yet to pit in this race.
That means...
So, you know, the Silent Fan Club... I was going to say, so, you know, the Silent Fan Club will definitely go crazy if Silent does get by Milo here. Milo struggling on the hards, Silent on the mediums as well, losing traction for both of them there out of the left-hander. Go ahead.
Boss Plays is in a net P3 because Sam has to pit, Silent has to pit, Bama has to pit, Milo has to pit. So,
yeah,
it's been a solid race from Boss Plays so far.
And Silent and Milo as well. This is under the front straight. DRS will be enabled pretty soon. You see the traction in the rear end being lost right there out of the corner of the S's. But now with the help of DRS, Silent is going to try to get by Milo. He's gotten the slipstream of Milo. Overtake button not engaged at all. He's kind of just saving the ERS. And now into turn 1, he cannot get through this time. Silent can't. Into turn 1 as well. Boss plays could not get by Sam Seed. That was really for 6th and 7th, but now it's for 4th and 5th between Milo and Silent. And Bobby the Human making his first pit stop of the race, going mediums to hards. But here comes Silent. Will he try a late dive into turn 3? Cannot do so. And locking up, Milo does. He's missing the corner, missing the apex a little bit by that, but he's going to stay ahead right now. Fastest lap for Big Chungus. Outside the top 10, that is.
But people do have to pit.
That's true. Bama Outlaw, penalty for him. That's for multiple warnings. That's his first penalty of the Grand Prix as we almost reached the halfway point. We saw when the safety car came out for, it was tier 3, this very late in the race. It was mid-race, in fact. Not late, not enough late race, I'd say. Not compared to tier 1, but it came out with about a good 10 laps to go. And with that being said, we could see another late race safety car for tier 2 this time as well. You think it's possible, Paul?
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. I really want to see that. I mean, it's chaotic in tier 3.
I really like to see Phil bunch back up.
I want to see chaos, but clean chaos.
Yes, I agree with that. And only 4 retirements so far. If we end up that way, I'm fine with it. But I know there'll be someone else who retires at the end of the Grand Prix. But most of the people who've retired, well, half the people who retired in the pit lane, which I would be a little bit frustrated about. But if they're going to want to rage, they have to do it there. Anyways, Silent has got the momentum now to go by Milo Gaming. He's got ahead into turn 1, but Milo Gaming, diving it back down the inside, cannot get through. He knew that was not his fight that time. And Silent does stay ahead, and does get ahead, actually, for that 4th position. And you know the Silent fan club, the chat are loving that.
Silent, if he keeps up this pace and has a really strong second stint once he pits, he could be on, maybe not for a podium, but a very good points finish.
Yeah, and he's really struggled at the last few races he's had, and there's a decent reason for that. I mean, he had the penalties in Brazil, but he had been running at a podium position, been running very good. And you look at his last 3 races for where he's ran. Has he been running better than ever? I mean, today, he's been running very well. He qualified very well. Qualified right near his teammate. He's not very far off his teammate, but I think it's the overall race pace, the overall consistency with him that does need a little bit of work, because last week, he had DNF'd on lap 2, which it was kind of usual for him. But the thing is, he showed he had great pace. He turned up to the race and qualifying very good, but he couldn't convert that to the race because he'd gone out of the race. With that being said, you look at Brazil as well. Penalties for him costed him late. He had some contact with a few drivers. He was definitely on for a podium or even a win. So his last 3 races have been very decent and should have gone unnoticed, but should be very noticed. You see he's trying to gain on Bama, who are on different strategies here. Bama yet to pit. Silent going to go through with the help of the overtake button. He's got through ahead of Bama, but he's just not clear yet. He's clear now. Bama
he's now on the podium. Chungus penalty.
At the very back, F1 Boy and Adam Fav, they're close to one another. And we've not really talked about, in a few laps, the battle for the race lead. 3.5 seconds between Atlantis and Tripod. Atlantis made a huge statement in Bahrain, like we said, that I should have won that race in Bahrain. Tripod should have not. Atlantis just took a 4th place finish last season in Bahrain. A season ago in tier 1, so he has a right to say that in a way. He has a right to say he would have been more competitive in the race if it weren't for the Hamilton contact between them and them colliding. So if it weren't for that, you could definitely make a statement that Atlantis should have been up there, but should he have won the race? That's always a big question. Now F1 Boy, Adam Fav with the help of DRS, he's gone in the back of him a little bit, but F1 Boy is going to go through. Paulo, weren't you going to check penalties, you said, or something?
I'm going to check penalties, actually, while you mention penalties. Atlantis has nothing. Silent has nothing. Milo has nothing. Sam Steed has invalidated a lap and nothing. Boss Place is nothing. Rafa Lucas is nothing. Matty Mumu has a penalty. And he also had to have a drive-through to serve. Patriot has a 5-second, but he served that once he put it onto mediums. And Big Chungus has a penalty. So pretty clean for most of the guys.
So far it has been Sam and Milo. They're on different strategies. Milo yet to pit in this race. And Sam Steed going to come in for his final stop. He's probably going to go to the mediums. Nobody on softs currently as we stand. Matty Mumu and Rafa Lucas. Rafa Lucas looking for a points finish. Yet to really be in the points in tier 2 in the one start he had. But Matty Mumu is going to go through turn 1. A great move from Matty Mumu. He just timed it perfect with the braking. Yeah, Rafa Lucas on a different strategy. He's yet to pit. Alabama Outlaw has picked up a second penalty. And, Milo, Rafa Lucas, they've yet to pit. So where they will come out when they pit, Milo will probably come out just on the bottom of the points. Rafa Lucas will probably come out outside of the points, just barely. But a safety car would really help them right now. With that being said, Atlantis 4.2 just ahead, and Adam Fab pits as well. We've seen a lot of VSC so far, but not many safety cars. I don't even think any.
Yeah. Safety car would help Silent. Definitely. The Silent Fan Club will love that. It helped the hard runners.
We saw about 5 VSCs in tier 3 though, so.
And Fab picks up a penalty.
Yeah, you were saying how they can help the hard runners though? About that?
I mean, they can pit on the softs, I guess. I don't know.
Depends on the timing of that safety car. We saw the softs at the end of the race, and there's a yellow flag. That is a Mercedes. That's Castle section. Missing a front wing. VSC.
VSC.
So not a safety car, but a VSC.
This is perfect for Silent. He's gonna pit now.
Yeah, that's good for him. This is gonna help him. And he's crashed the pit lane. Okay, well he's gonna have to repair a wing now. And KDX is out of the session now.
Wait,
I think there's been a collision as well. Up there. KDX gone out. Yeah, that's in Cobra Corner.
Cobra Corner, let's go. Sounds gonna come out 7th.
Yeah, so he set himself up on the mediums for the end of this race where he could challenge Patriot because Patriot's on those. Patriot might have to pit again. Let me check where Patriot pitted. He gone into softs to hards to mediums. So yeah, he might have to pit again with the way those tires are. Big Chungus will be challenging Silent as well. And you also have as well drive-through from Milo.
Drive-through.
After pitting. He tried to time it perfect, but he's got the drive-through, and Big Chungus goes wide. There goes Silent through. Big Chungus may have passed him or tried to pass him under the VSC. That's now set up a 4-car train with Silent, Big Chungus, Milo, and Sam. Wow. So that's not going to help Milo whatsoever. Rafa Lucas did not pit under that VSC. He's maybe looking to go hards to softs. But with the way things stand, he can easily come out in a decent position. Probably 11th, but he can probably charge his way through for at least a points position here for the first time in Tier 2. And the gap for the race lead has closed down to 3.9. Tripod really trying to use the overtake to get through. And you saw on the right-hand side of the screen, F1 Boy and Davis. F1 Boy gets out of Davis. Davis really struggled this race so far. 14 lap mediums for him.
Yep.
Both Mercedes out, Callum out, Hamilton out, Utah out. All people part of GSR have been out of this race. That doesn't look good. But hey, you know what? That could give him a sign to bounce back. And with that being said, the race lead 3.9 again. But Boss Plays has put himself in a very good position with Matty Mumu. Going to be challenging for a podium pretty soon here. And Milo Gaming has pit for that drive-through. Yeah, so with that being said, that Milo's got screwed because of the drive-through. This will allow Rafa Lucas to come out toward that 10th position. So, with that being said, where he's going to come out, he can possibly be challenging at the end of the race, at the back of this train, for the 8th and 9th position. But here comes Sam Steed around the outside of Big Chungus. They make a bit of contact, but Big Chungus is going to stay ahead for that time being. Yeah, you mentioned Silent Fan Club. Silent could be challenging for a podium here. He's not too far off of one. Where he is at currently, 24 seconds off the race lead, but off of podium position, he's only about 9 seconds off. So a safety car could really help him. So could anything else with any of the top runners, such as Easy Boss Plays or anyone else having trouble.
Yeah. Patriots nearly on the back of Rapalookas. That could be maybe an overtaking maneuver. Oh crap, something dropped. That was my charging thing. The thing I charged my controller with. But hopefully that didn't break. But anyways, Patriot now. Is he gonna try and move Rapalookas, or is Rapalookas gonna pit? I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see.
Again, the gap between the race lead is 4.4. Rapalookas is going to decide to pit this time. Patriot trying to get a little bit of a toe off that. He had the help of DRS, so that's going to give him an advantage. Bama and Sam. Sam actually pits this time, but goes into the barrier and goes out in the pit lane.
That could be a safety
He's
car.
out of the race. That will not be a safety car, apparently, from the looks of it. It won't even be a yellow flag.
Nice
Rapalookas
game.
coming out of the pit lane. We'll be near Milo. Couldn't get it gas back up, it looked like. So Sam Seed trying to pit goes out in the pit lane. Oh my goodness.
Last week's race winner.
That's true. Not so good for him.
No AlphaTauri points.
That's true. Unless a safety car happens, which could change things, but Adam Fav yet to be lapped. Yeah, he's a minute behind the race lead, so yeah, definitely not good for him. 5 seconds between Atlantis and Tripod. Keep in mind, like I said earlier in this race, I said it as a favorite for Atlantis. He won this race back in ILR. Well, not won this race. Came second, apologize for that. Came second in this race in ILR a year ago. That was almost a year ago around this time. That was a long time ago. That was at F of 2018, but that was at the very end of F of 2018, if I'm correct. And 2019, around this time, was when ILR went to Azerbaijan for their final Grand Prix at Azerbaijan. I believe Atlantis competed in that race. I remember racing against him. I had the amazing battle with him at China in ILR. So, of course, good days back then. That's when league racing was fun and not any dumb drama. Well, I'm not saying it didn't have any drama, but of course it did. But you know, probably the circumstance of TSRL last night, why I mentioned that. So, no, of course, Atlantis, with him, 5.1, the race lead, and Silent fastest lap, so that's going to give him an extra point for now. He's trying to challenge on Patriot for the top 5 position. But yeah, the reason why I mentioned Atlantis, again, for the reasons I do, is because Atlantis has had 27 races across all tiers without a podium. That's the longest streak anyone has had without a podium with the races they've done. Atlantis has yet to race victory. Sam C took his first podium with a win last week. Atlantis could possibly be doing the same, and he showed why his statement about Bahrain was reasonable for Tripod. That he said, hey, you know what? You shouldn't have won that race. I should have challenged you for it, and I should have won. He said that straight up, and I'm going to mention it many times, of course, because it's reasonable to be mentioned. He's out here today proving that, outperforming Tripod 5 seconds ahead. Of course, a safety car or anything like that could change because the safety car is available to be used in the next few laps, but I mention it again because Atlantis is now proving that statement today.
Yeah, if Atlantis wins, I'm going to be extremely unbiased on this. Well deserved. He's had incredible pace all race.
Agreed.
Well deserved. He's been incredible today, I will admit. Pulling 5 seconds. Although he did kind of get
act like he's won the race already because we could curse him.
I know, but if he does win, well deserved. I know Alabama will help a little bit, but these things happen in league racing. You just have to take what you get. This is really the statement what happens when I have a really lucky race. You take what you get. But that's probably just the quote. Get past Patriot. Hog.
Yep, that's for 5th. Now he's going to be challenging for Matty Mimmer with 17 lap hards. Will Matty Mimmer boss plays? That's my question. Will Matty Mimmer boss plays make it to the end? Keep in mind, also other streaks, Silent has not had a single podium since a long time. It's been since Abu Dhabi of Season 1 where he won the Grand Prix. It's been a while for Silent. It's been crazy. That's been 13, 14, 16 races since then that he's been able to be competing in. So if he gets his podium, that would be great for him, and I think the fan club would love it. They'd be celebrating crazy. Anyways, though, they got to take care of their tires, Matty Moo and Boss Plays do, because we've seen punctures at the end of the Tier 1 race, right, Paulo? Because not even on, like, 70% tires, you see punctures at the end of the race. And Matty Moo and Boss Plays have to kind of manage their tires very, very well. Worst Tier 2 race ever. I would not say that. I don't agree with that. I think this has been okay. No. I wouldn't say interesting. I don't know about that, Hamilton. I think worst of the season, I can agree. Not most dirtiest, but I definitely could say worst of the season. You can maybe say that, but ever, that's just hating.
No.
That's just hating on it, you know?
No, that's just because he retired, let's be honest. Honestly, it is heat of the moment. So
it is heat of the moment. That things happen. So, yeah.
Silence and DRS of Matty Moo. This could be another battle.
Matty Moo Pits.
Oh, Matty Moo Pits actually.
So
now
he knows now he won't make it to the end.
Now Silence gonna have to go after Boss Plays.
Patriot pits as well. I'm going to assume he's going for softs. He's going for mediums. And Rapalookas has set the fastest lap on softs. He's going to be able to take a 7th place finish if he could just hold it right now from where he's at. But Milo Gaming, these two collided back in Bahrain. These two are trying to challenge one another. Bama on Big Chungus. Bama cannot get through as well just yet. But Milo Gaming trying to challenge on Rapalookas, and you have Bama trying to challenge Big Chungus. Big Chungus looking for his best result so far with a 5th place right now. As things stand, he does have damage, so he is having to nurse the car home in good shape. And yeah, with that being said, Silent has gone about last podium, which was back at Abu Dhabi. And Atlantis, like I said, 27 races he's competed in. And he's not had a single podium. This is the 28th one, so could 28 be the good lucky number for him? Number if he wants to, I guess, if that's the lucky charm for him. Anyways, 6.9 as well. Boss Plays, he's yet to have a podium in this league as well. He could have took one in Italy last season, but didn't do so. So, Silent 1.3 behind of Boss Plays. Big Chungus as well. 6, 7 tenths again between him and Bama. You know, right now, I'm telling you, a safety car could change a lot of things. And I'm going to keep bringing it up because I call a lot of safety cars that happen, and I know when they're going to happen. But I bring it up because these two are close to one another, and Paulo has left this session.
Oh, nice internet. Nice internet. Woohoo! Lagged out. Let's go.
Yay! Anyways, what I get for the race lead is kind of cut down just a little bit. 6.9 between Atlantis, now 7.0 between him and Tripod for this race lead. 15 lap hards. They've got to be careful because if their tires don't make it to the end, Boss Plays could take advantage, Tripod could take advantage, and the others as well. And Big Chungus goes for a slide with Bama. And Bama's got ahead now. But Silent has got himself into DRS for a podium position right now. Oh boy.
Right, let's get him back in the lobby. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, internet decided to act up at the worst possible time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you've joined back. Anyways, Davis has picked up a 3-second time penalty. That's at the far back of the there. And Big Chungus has picked up damage, resetting the track up the castle section, and that is not going to bring out any virtual safety car of some sort. And Davis has gone out. That's at turn 2. Will this bring out a safety car by chance? It's yellow flags.
Oh.
Paulo, you've lagged out again. Rapalookas goes by Big Chungus, but this will not bring out a safety car by the looks of things. Let me reinvite you back. Big Chungus limping around with damage. Rapalookas going up to 6, and now here comes Milo Gaming, his teammate, and Matty Moo as well. Matty Moo going to be stuck behind him, and he's going to run in the back of him. But through the S's, Matty Moo had a tough time in trying to get ahead, and now Silent goes ahead of Boss Plays. Boss Plays is wanting to challenge that back, but can't do so. Silent is got ahead for the podium spot.
All right. Come on.
And he's up into the podium spot, and you see the chat going crazy right there. For Silent Patriot taking the fastest lap. Matty Mumu in the back of Milo. Milo having lock up. Milo having a little slide right out of turn 2. Matty Mumu with the help of overtake and with the help of DRS is going to go through now on Milo Gaming. And Milo Gaming still trying to look for the first points of the season. But Matty Mumu still trying to make it a double McLaren point finish after their troubles with this one. I wouldn't say what a bad race. I would say lap 1 was the bad race, a part of it. Again, tier 2 having issues with lap 1. We'll have to figure that out, of course, at the end of the race. I don't know about bad race. I know people say that because they have trouble or they DNF, but I wouldn't say it was a bad race. I'd say it was a boring race. You could definitely say that. Worst race of the season so far. Could probably agree on that. But again, you can't just DNF. Do you know what I mean? If that's the case, but you know. There's been battles, but it's not been necessarily the best of races. Tier 3 was probably more chaotic. Tier 3 was probably better. And they kept lap 1 cleaner. And that's Big Chungus now out of the session, which puts F1 Boy in a points position. And yeah, I can agree it is kind of dead, but it's not been the worst ever Tier 2 race. I've definitely seen a lot worse and a lot dirtier. But I say this because there's been way more dirtier races. And lap 1 is definitely something that I agree with. Needs to be fixed in Tier 2. For sure. It has been a problem. And it has been an occurring theme. Now here comes Matty Mumu and Rapalucas. Rapalucas trying to...
And hopefully it doesn't lag me out.
Yeah. So now between the race lead, 5.9 seconds. Atlantis just trying to take it easy, looks like, by the looks of things. 6 seconds now. And you see Matty Mumu trying to challenge Rapalucas as well. He's got to the back of him now. Can't get close enough. 8 DNFs so far in this race. Matty Mumu goes by and is ahead for 6th position, that is. How about Alfa Romeo? 2nd and 3rd right now. With things looking at, with how things look. Boss Plays has got to keep his car going in the straight line because he has a chance of getting a puncture with those 21 lap hards. It will be 23 by the end of this race, but yeah.
Please tell me I'm in the session.
Yeah, Burning Man mentions. Yeah, Burning Man mentions. God, I remember back in Tier 3 when at every start there was at least 4 spinners. Yeah, that was not the good times of things, but hey, the same thing is happening for Tier 2 now, and that's not good now. It's always been 1 tier every season, so yeah. With that being said, there's still many people looking for good finishes. Bama looking for a top 5.
Oh, we're starting the final lap now.
To tie his best finish. And yeah, it is the final lap. Atlantis does take the final lap. Atlantis looking for his first win and best result. Silent looking for a first podium in a long, long time. That'd be since Abu Dhabi of Season 1 where he won the race. And Rapalucas looking for a first points finish in Tier 2. Milo Gaming as well, looking for his first points of the season. So this should be interesting. Atlantis on the final lap of the Grand Prix. 5.4 that gap is. And yeah, tell me about it. Atlantis just trying to go in cruise control. And yeah, I can agree with people saying it is a dead race, but I would not say it's the worst Tier 2 race ever. I would not say that. There probably will be clips submitted after the race. We'll find out. But 5 seconds, again, for that race lead. That race lead is kind of closing down, but it might not be enough in the end. You'll have to find out. Atlantis going through the castle section for the final time. Just taking it easy. He knows he's got the race lead. He knows he's got a perfect cushion over the next car, so he is trying to take everything easy. He's had 27 race starts before today in all tiers combined. All of them, he's not been on the podium a single time. He got the podium robbed to Italy earlier in Season 1, at the end of Season 1, earlier a long time ago. Today is Redemption Day. Alrighty, Polo. Anyways,
alright.
Here we come. This time, Boss Plays as well. Trying to nurse it home on those tires. Silent, trying to look for podium. Atlantis comes through the final S's. Turn 20, the final time. He's weaving to the line. He's going to be so happy for this one because Atlantis, after 27 race starts, it's been long enough, but it's a race victory for Atlantis. He's going to celebrate this one for a while. Atlantis and McLaren go to the top step of the podium. For the first time this season, Atlantis, an amazing second, and GSR Silent as well, a great finish by him. That's his first podium, and Boss Plays nursing home to the line. That's his first podium in a long while. Silent as well. It's been since season 1 of Abu Dhabi at the last race of the season. It's been too long for Silent Atlantis. And both Alfa Romeos complete the podium. Rob Lucas comes home 7th. Good for him. And Matty Mumu off penalties does take 5th. Paulo did need to reset his Wi-Fi, so he will be back for post-race interviews. But I know how happy Atlantis will be with that one. And coming to the line, Bobby the Human, Adam Fav, F1 Boy, trying to all challenge for a points finish, possibly. Bobby the Human coming to the line with Adam Fav this time. Can't be enough. Well, yeah, just enough. Atlantis finally takes the top spot of the podium. That is the first time Atlantis has took a victory. And my goodness, has he enjoyed that one. Well, I see Atlantis is here. Hello. Well, yeah, we'll get the podium spot through here. And, we'll also get, people in the party as well. Paulo does need an invite back. I'll get Silent and his crew, and I'll get, well, Silent and, not his crew, but so just Silent. And the crew will enjoy, the post-race interview, I'm sure. And, you got both Alfa Romeos as well on the podium. Atlantis, tell me about that one. That was 27 races too long.
It's about time. It is about time.
It is. You're right.
Oh my Jesus. That was, at the end I was just like, I don't know, I was losing it.
Yeah.
The back end was slipping out. And,
I could tell.
and I was like, oh no, Tribal's gonna beat me. I was like, oh shit. I was literally like sitting there, I was like full on bricking myself. Like, oh. Thankfully, I managed to stay composed and come home from first to finish first. Hey,
Yeah.
26 points back from McLaren with me. Matty doing a great job P5 as well.
Yeah, after the drive-through.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm so pleased.
Yeah. Oh, well, my controller dropped. That's nice. Did not mean to do that. But yeah, I will get the TV volume of mine turned down quickly, and then we'll get post-race interview started.
Okay, you lot are not you're not cutting out a lot now, so should be fine now. God.
Yeah, hopefully, Paul. Anyways, we'll get with our race victor in a moment here of Atlantis. I'm trying to turn my TV volume down. That's not working. That's great. Anyways, Paulo, you may as well start with tripod while I quickly go do something quickly. You may as well start with tripod. Tripod, make sure you include your audio.
Yep. Well, great job in the P2 today, but it could have been a lot more, and it could have been a lot closer battle with Atlantis after the pit stops. So, how do you feel? Are you happy with today's result, or do you feel like you could have fought for the win more better?
I think that was the most I could get out of that, to be honest. When Bama sort of held me up a bit, I couldn't got out of Atlantis DRS. He had so much more pace. Yeah, I think that's the most. Obviously, it was very hard to just keep going on my own, trying to keep focused. But yeah, I don't think there was more I could do there.
Well, 3 podiums, actually 4 podiums in a row now.
I think it's like 6 or something.
Maybe 6, I don't know. But yeah, you've been on an amazing run. How are you able to cope with the pressure every single week and just pull off results like podiums?
For me, there is no pressure. I'm just doing my best every week. Just showing my pace. I don't think about the podiums in the championship when I'm racing. Just trying to do well in. But yeah, I mean, give it a few races and I'm sure the pressure will be building.
So heading into next week at Japan, are you looking forward to racing there for the first time in ARL?
Even though Japan's more of a wheel track, I've never really been good at it, to be honest, but I thought that was back in China as well, so you never know. As it is a wheel track, you might see some of the good pad players struggle a bit more. But yeah, I haven't practiced, haven't tried it yet, and we'll just have to see.
Yeah, congrats on P2. Good result. Great result from the Alpha boys. Up the boys, come on.
Oh,
2-3. Um, yeah, I just wanna actually ask you a question, Tripod. You know, you were being passed by Atlantis off the start. You had to challenge him a little bit. But my question is, you look back to Bahrain, you go back 2 weeks ago. I'm sure you probably heard the quote from Atlantis, and Atlantis hears me mentioning this, where Atlantis said he probably should have beat you, and you should have competition. You should have competition at Bahrain. But he's gone out here and proved it today. He's gone and beat you. Do you think he's a real threat for the championship, Atlantis?
I mean, yeah. From the start, I thought he was gonna be miles ahead. But yeah, he just hasn't had a chance as tier 2 is more of the dirty tier, which isn't great, but he's
Yeah,
been
we gotta
caught
figure
up
that
in
out.
some of them incidents. But yeah, he's a big threat, and he's shown it today.
Yeah, congratulations on hopefully your audio is included with the Xbox app. I do want to talk to you about a podium. Oh my god, my volume is so loud. You can clearly tell by that. Silent speak just so I can make sure the stream can hear you. Alright, I don't think the stream can hear you. I might have to, what's it called? I might have to, hang up with Atlantis and then get back to Atlantis and, get you over, Discord, if that's okay with you. Alright, cool. Well, I'll invite him back. For now, then, I may as well call Atlantis back. Because he's using Xbox app as well. I may as well get him back in here. I may as well talk to the race winner. I was going to save the best for last, but, you know, we'll wait on that. I may as well talk to you, Atlantis. Let me up my volume here. Alright. Well, Atlantis, it's been 28th race for you. It's been 28 races, way too long for a race victory. You finally have done it. You prove your point to Tripod that you probably could contend with him and beat him. Now you do it today. How do you feel about that?
Oh, over the moon. Like I said in Bahrain, coming there for the first week, I reckon I had the pace to at least contend, maybe even win. And due to a certain someone, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Where it didn't go my ways. And then today, just everything went my way. The virtual safety car coming out the pit lane in front of Milo helped massively. Just all the virtual safety cars helped my tyres, because I was like, my hards were gone, they were dead.
Yeah.
And I was so over the moon to finally cross that line after all these months and weeks being in all your leagues you've had since season 1. It's taken me 2 whole seasons to finally get my first podium, yet alone my first win. And yeah, I'm totally speechless, to be honest with you.
Your reaction across the line.
I was screaming.
Did you have to have the noise complainers come back at you?
No, not this time.
Yeah, so that's good though, at least on that part. But no, I picked you as a favorite in this race, and I remembered back to ILR. I watched that race, and you finished P2 in that race. ILR, a very competitive league, and you were in a very competitive tier as well. For yourself, where you were probably better in league racing at that time. Now you've kind of a little bit downgraded, but you've got that back up. You got your momentum, and you got your confidence back up as well. How are you feeling about this championship, and how are you feeling about now you got your confidence back up, and now you can feel you can contend for race victories now as well?
So obviously race 1 and 2 didn't exactly go to plan, but now that we've come here and I've managed to pull 26 points out the bag, I feel just generally great. And I reckon next week in Japan, although it's a wheel track, I reckon I can whip out the controller and just do some magic somehow. And I reckon it'll be a good race. Maybe I won't get the win next week because I'm not very confident in Japan. But I reckon I can make like some very good action happen. And the championship, yeah, like now that I've got this race win, I reckon I'm straight back in it.
Yeah.
Before, like, I reckon I'm straight back up there, which is absolute quality to me. And I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, that's good, and that's something I think you can enjoy as well. I think you could probably hear Polo through my TV. I'm pretty sure. Does Polo, you have any questions for Atlantis? I mean, we had to race 4 now for Tier 2. Will we see an Alfa Romeo and Atlantis collide? Is that gonna happen, Polo? If he's even here.
Yeah, I am here, but it's probably not. I think there will be a championship rivalry between Atlantis and Tripod, but I think it will be a fair one. It won't be a Kagoda and Pluto. I don't think it'll be as heated. But one more thing to say.
Questions?
You get the Polo annual reward of Commanding Drive. So congrats on the win, Atlantis. Commanding Drive.
Anyway.
I heard absolutely none of that.
Yeah, I mean, my TV's literally at almost full blast, I think, and I don't even know how you cannot hear that, but yeah.
I think I heard Commanding Drive, and I'll take that.
Yeah, you may as well take that. I may as well keep you on the call, Atlantis, but Silent, 8th. I can't even count. I think this is a 4th podium from you, but this is your first since a long time. This has been way forever. Since the pandemic started, let's put it that way. March 14th. It's been so long, almost 6 months, almost half a year since your last podium. I know the fan club probably gone crazy, but tell me about that podium for you, because you charged all you could for it.
Yeah, I don't know how I've done it. 2 pit stops on the mediums. They were a bit lost. Yeah, I don't know how I've done that, honestly. 2 pit stops. I didn't mean to go into the mediums. And yeah, fucking fantastic drive from me, I think. Shut up!
The fan club's enjoying it. That's good. But anyways, I was gonna say, this is your first podium since Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, a season 1 which you won. That was a less competitive Tier 2, you could definitely say. And would you say this is redemption for all the races last season that you had trouble in? And do you think you're in a better spot at Alfa Romeo this time with this team?
I would say I'm in a better spot because working with Tripod is very easy, and it's like good, and the whole team having like the practice throughout the week and everything is. I would say it's much better setup than the team last year. Sorry to Axe and all of Williams, but yeah, I just feel more comfortable in the Alpha seat, and I think I didn't have anything to like look at because I got my TTs in it late, and then like to even get a seat and get a podium, like I'm actually quite thankful for that.
Yeah, that's true, because you came into this with TTs being super late, and it was like, oh, will I even get a ride? And things had changed at the last moment. Things had changed a lot, and you got the ride, and then you got a chance at a podium. Now, you know, I speak, you know, about all those DNFs. I speak about that. Does this maybe give you momentum for the next Grand Prix in Japan, considering you're a wheel user? Because the Japan does benefit the wheel more than the pad. Do you get more confident with the next Grand Prix in Japan?
I've always loved Japan. I've not done it on this game yet. It might be a bit easier for the S's, but I reckon the last sector is going to be a bit. Well, not the last sector. The middle sector is going to be a bit weird because the wheel's quite light this year. So, yeah, I just have to say, I loved it last game, so hopefully it will carry on to this game.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see in Japan how much the wheel users will benefit Atlantis. I heard you were saying something. Do you want to say that again?
No. It's fine.
Anyways, Paulo, do you have any questions for Mr. Silent Merchman?
Again, no, but amazing drive, great result for the Alpha boys. Up the boys. A bit of a fun fact, though, I want to say, every single Alfa Romeo driver, except for Aaron O'Connor, scored a podium, and it's only been 3 rounds.
Oh no! Yes. I'm dirty there.
Oh my God.
He's the Irish one. You're not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's true.
Anyway, Paulo, I just want to kind of recap that race a little bit. It was, you could definitely say it was a dead race, and the start kind of did cause that. It was a bit dirty, you could definitely say in lap 1. I do want to ask everyone in the party and in the call as well. I do kind of want to refer to lap 1. What would you guys like to be changed? What would you guys think about lap 1 itself? I want Tripod you to go first about lap 1, because there's stuff that does need to be improved. I've seen a lot of crashes on lap 1 and people just being impatient. I don't know if it's been caused by any reserves or any other people. I don't know what's caused that, but what have you guys seen cause the one lap? Lap 1 crashes. Tripod, you go first.
Obviously I didn't really see it, because I was at the front, but, Matthew, I think it's just tier 2. I don't think all of us have that much experience in the F1 sort of games, and they need to learn when to back out, when to go to moves, and, go for moves. And I think you can always tell people to be clean, but some people just won't learn from it, and,
Yeah.
I think you should start taking a close look at if there's recurring, offenders, I guess, and
Yeah.
possibly, give them the penalty points and stuff unless they change their ways.
I think also something that would probably help is looking back at lap 1 collisions. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but looking back at lap 1 collisions, who's been involved, who's caused it, who's had issues with it, because
people clipping it.
yeah, and I look at Bahrain as well. I put KDX, Luke, Sam, all those guys were involved in lap 1 collisions, and Bahrain, and I look at, hey, well, who caused that and who's been involved in it, who's been involved in more of these lap 1 stuff that hasn't been necessarily at fault. Riles was involved in lap 1 as well, so that's what I'm saying. I feel like lap 1 can easily be improved, and I think Japan could be hit or miss with lap 1, but hopefully it's an improvement. I hope as well.
Can I just say something real quick? Shout out to the 7X fan club in the living room right now. Fucking fantastic. Like,
Tell them I said they're goats.
Yeah, they are.
I'm sorry about the chat. It's probably gone a bit wild with
It's
them
funny,
typing
to
on
be
my
honest.
account.
It's more funny than stupid, but you know.
Anyway.
But yeah, Silent, you've been involved in a decent amount of lap 1 collisions in tier 2 before, but tell me about lap 1. What needs to be improved? What needs to be changed? Because I think that's a big talking point for tier 2 because of the because lap 1 has been probably the biggest problem with dirty racing in this. I don't think it's been the whole race overall most of the time, besides Bahrain. I think it's just been lap 1 mainly, in my opinion. But what is your own opinion on it?
I mean, from being taken up myself quite a lot in season 1, it's just, I think it's a difference in pace between tier 2, because at the front, the top 5 are normally quite, like, not that much, but there is quite a bit of a difference between the top 5 and, like, behind. So I think the problem is with the starts and the short run, especially here at Baku, like, it's just people don't all have the same pace.
Yeah, and especially okay then. Especially the difference in the starts as well. Between them, I think that's a difference as well. Atlantis, you can probably mute your mic here now. The thing is with lap 1, you complained, I'd say, a lot about lap 1 in tier 1 a few times last season. You complained about Bahrain lap 1. You complained about a few things, and you've been really a big talking point in the league for a while because you were one of the first admins in this league. No longer one, by the way. But my point is with that, what do you think needs to be changed for lap 1? Because it's a reoccurring thing with tier 2 on collisions in lap 1.
I just think, like, at the end of the day, it's just, like Tripod said, it's the lack of experience. And obviously, how long have I been doing this now? 3 years? 3 years, yeah. Just random, like, I just, you know. And obviously, from my time, I've seen worse starts. But generally, like, it's just been, you know, I think it just needs to be more, people need to be more calm and relaxed on the starts. They need to, like, just take their time and just win for a change, because I feel like there's a lot of immaturity in the field, like, and a lot of young drivers who haven't really, they think it wins, like, the rule always is you can't win the race in lap 1, and like, a lot of the mature older drivers now have moved on from F1 completely, and, you know, either
That's true.
gone into
ILR.
the real world.
ILR is a good example.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people there.
They've gone on. and they've gone into like the real world and shit like that, or they just moved on to better
Leagues.
tiers and better league races.
Yep.
And it's like, obviously, over the years I've declined every game. I'm very slowly declining, but like I like to view myself as an icon in league racing. But yeah, obviously, I think it's just people need to sit like, as soon as the 5 red lights go out, they need to sit there and they need to right. I'm going to stick to the inside and I'm going to keep the inside. I'm going to brake at the right time and I'm going to keep my front wing safe. And I'm not going to mind anyone behind me because if they hit into the back of me, it's their fault. They just need to be like, right, think about it, head down, and then you need to like just not be stupid. I know it's hard to say not be stupid when other people around you are going to be stupid, but instead of focusing on the people around you, focus on where you're putting the car. Because if you're too busy focusing on the other drivers, sometimes you're going to be obviously not focusing on yourself and completely misjudge the corner and stuff like that. And that's what causes the most incident, the most issues is people not putting themselves first in a clean type of aspect, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah. I think there's a few things to it. Of course, what you guys mentioned is great. Great points to talk about, but I also think there's other things to it. I think people who are trying to be careful on lap 1 are either being too careful, or people who are not being careful aren't being careful enough, because there's a difference of being just atrocious in lap 1, careful, and then just too careful. And we could be seeing a mix between people being too careful and just atrocious. There's many things about it. And of course, Tier 2 is a tier last season that was very good with racing, except for a few moments. I think Mexico and Bahrain were 2 races that I look at it the most that had many incidents, but Tier 2 was fairly clean. Tier 2 didn't have any stupid incidents. Now we're having stupid incidents on lap 1, kind of like Tier 3 has had. So, again, crashes that don't need to happen. And I mean, whatever people feel is right. I've said to people, practice for this race. I'm going to start saying practice with the damn AIs, because, I mean, at that point, you need to figure out how to race around other people and cleanly. But that's my point. I think people need to practice around one another and take it seriously when they need to practice, because I think there's I myself used to not take it seriously when I used to practice. So of course that would affect me in the race. I'd start being dirty. I'd start running into people. Atlantis, you being one of them. So that of course wasn't good for me, and I needed to practice around the other cars. I needed to practice public lobbies, in fact, of how to race other people, because if I didn't do that, I was just going to be crashing into everyone, and I was just going to be playing Demolition Derby League at that point. That's what I'd be playing, but that's a fair point, and I think you could put it both ways. Anyway, Paulo, Tier 1 tomorrow, what are you expecting? Just a quick brief about it. What are you expecting?
Hopefully a lot cleaner than Tier 2 and Tier 3. There will be chaos. Hopefully Sweat 12.12.05 or ARL 125 inches wins it.
We'll find out.
Should be an exciting race.
Yeah, I think it was just again. I think for Tier 3, it was just Tier 3. It was just the end of the race that was the problem. More peels I see now than tickets now, or anything else. But I think for Tier 2, I think it's just been lap 1, and then they just sort themselves out for the rest of the race. I think that's been the problem, just lap 1, which is a big part of the race. But yeah, anyways, Tier 1 is tomorrow. Tune in then, because that will be Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK. You may as well tune in there, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you then.
Bye.